No man should ever accept this. These women are toxic. Old Stoic Wisdom. Beware the master manipulator, a silent threat to every man. The most dangerous enemy is the one who wears the mask of a friend. Old Stoic proverb. Some women don't just break relationships. They dismantle men from the inside out. And the worst part, many men never see it happening until it's too late. Among the most destructive types is the master manipulator. Unlike obvious toxicity, she doesn't attack with rage or violence. She attacks your reality itself. At first, she appears perfect, attentive, understanding, and deeply supportive. She studies you, reflects your desires, and convinces you that you've finally found someone who truly gets you. But this is only the opening act. Slowly, the mask begins to slip, not in dramatic bursts, but through subtle, calculated shifts that distort your perception of truth. Her weapon of choice is psychological warfare. Through tactics like gaslighting, she twists your words, denies what you know to be real, and makes you doubt your memory. At first, you resist, insisting you're certain, but as her confidence grows, your self-trust erodes. Eventually, you stop questioning her and start apologizing for things that were never your fault. The master manipulator thrives on confusion and emotional disarmament. She turns confrontation into blame, transforming herself into the victim. Tears, accusations, or claims of your insensitivity make you second-guess your instincts. To avoid another exhausting conflict, you go silent. And in your silence, she gains control. What makes her grip nearly impossible to escape is the way she blends love with control. After cutting you down, she offers affection and validation, hooking you into an addictive cycle of emotional highs and lows. You chase the memory of her early warmth, never realizing it was a carefully staged illusion to secure your loyalty before the true manipulation began. She weaponizes your insecurities. If you fear abandonment, she threatens to leave. If you crave respect, she withholds it until you yield. If your past is marked by doubt, she subtly reinforces the idea that you can't be trusted, pushing you to prove yourself endlessly. Over time, your life begins to revolve around her moods. You reshape your behavior, silence your voice, abandon your interests, and even isolate from loved ones, all to keep her content. The frightening reality is that you don't see the transformation until you've nearly lost yourself. This woman doesn't just consume your love, she consumes your identity. She replaces your reality with her own version of truth, trapping you in a mental prison. Escaping her isn't simply about ending the relationship, it's about reclaiming the man you were before she dismantled you piece by piece. 1. The Attention Addict. She's the woman who thrives on constant validation, always craving attention like a thirsty desert traveler, desperate for the next drop of recognition. But make no mistake, this isn't about genuine self-worth. It's a bottomless pit of need, one that no amount of praise, love, or devotion from you will ever fill. In the beginning, you may mistake her for a woman brimming with confidence, her self-esteem seemingly through the roof, but over time, you'll realize that this facade is built on a foundation of insecurity, a desperate hunger for validation that doesn't come from within, but from the outside. You could shower her with compliments, adore her endlessly, but the moment your attention wavers, even for a second, she'll feel neglected, unappreciated, unloved, and that's not on you, it's on her. She's an attention addict, chasing that next hit of approval from anyone and everyone. Friends, social media followers, co-workers, strangers. She's a magnet for anyone willing to feed her insatiable need for attention. She'll post seductive pictures online, not to share her life with you, but to rake in likes, comments, and heart emojis from the world. Each compliment gives her a temporary high, but like an addict, the high fades quickly, and she needs another fix to feel alive again. In your relationship, this means constant competition, competing not just with other men, but with the entire world for her focus. While she might seem sweet, loyal, and loving when she's with you, the moment she's around other people, especially men, her behavior shifts. She becomes overly friendly, excessively charming, subtly flirtatious, not because she wants to cheat, but but because she needs to be desired, constantly. If you dare to confront her about this, she'll twist it. She'll accuse you of being insecure, controlling, flipping the script so that you become the problem, not her. And there it is, this vicious cycle of validation, one that leaves you feeling less than enough, like your attention is no longer special, no longer exciting. She craves the attention of others, and no matter how hard you try, she's always looking for more. The truth is, the attention addict isn't satisfied with just one person's love. She's addicted to novelty, the fresh eyes, the new people who see her as exciting, beautiful, irresistible. Your affection, no matter how genuine, becomes stale to her over time. So, you'll find her constantly glued to her phone, scrolling through comments, checking who's viewed her stories, or replying to DMs you didn't even know existed. And if you try to compete with that, you'll never win. Because this isn't about you. It's about her deep-rooted insecurity and inability to feel secure without constant affirmation from the world. You'll bend over backward trying to win her attention, but all that will do is trap you in her endless cycle of validation, where the only person truly satisfied is her. It's a game you can never win, no matter how hard you try. This is where Old Stoic Wisdom comes into play. An iron mind, forged through Stoic principles, teaches us to stand strong in the face of external chaos. When you begin to see this pattern for what it truly is, an addiction to external validation, you'll recognize that your worth is not defined by her behavior, but by your own ability to stay grounded, secure, and indifferent to her constant need for approval. Don't let her make you believe that this toxic behavior is normal or harmless. She'll claim, it's just social media or I'm just being friendly. But deep down, it's a constant, exhausting cycle of self-gratification that leaves you in the shadows, scrambling for crumbs of attention that she's already getting from everyone else, until you recognize the truth that her need for validation is rooted in her own insecurity, not your failings. You'll remain trapped in her game, constantly one of many, never her only priority. This is the reality of the attention addict, and you must be strong enough to break free. 2. The emotional vampire. No man should ever accept this. These women are toxic. You may not see it at first, but the emotional vampire is a silent killer, draining you in ways you never expected. These women don't just take your time or your love. They feed on your emotional energy, slowly draining you until you're nothing but a shell of the man you once were. You think you're in the midst of something great, intense chemistry, deep conversations, and moments of raw connection, but in reality, you're walking into a trap. The emotional vampire thrives on chaos. She needs it to survive. Without the constant emotional turmoil, she feels empty. She doesn't just want drama, she needs it. Her world cannot exist without it, and she'll create situations that keep you on edge, stuck in a whirlwind of unpredictable emotional highs and lows. At first, it's easy to overlook. After all, she's magnetic, like a force of nature that pulls you closer with every interaction. One day, she's warm, affectionate, and loving, making you feel like the most important man in her life. The next day, she's cold, distant, and irritated over something you can't even understand. You never know what's coming next, and that uncertainty keeps you walking on eggshells. You find yourself constantly analysing what you said or did to cause the change in her mood. But here's the truth. It's not about you. It's about her need for emotional turbulence. She's playing the game, and you're just a pawn. You begin to crave those moments of affection, so much so that you find yourself chasing after them. The emotional coldness, you learn to endure it, convincing yourself that if you try harder, she'll return to that warm, loving state. The highs feel so good. You become addicted to them, willing to do whatever it takes to avoid the lows. You've entered a vicious cycle, one that wears down your mental resilience. That's where the Stoic rules come in. A man must remain grounded, especially in relationships. You cannot allow anyone, let alone an emotional vampire, to dictate your emotional state. You must know your worth, stand your ground, and refuse to be drawn into a cycle that constantly leaves you empty. The paths of wisdom teach us that emotional manipulation is a trap, and Stoic philosophy has the answers to avoid it. You must not allow anyone to drain you of your energy or your essence. What's dangerous about the emotional vampire is that she doesn't always attack with negativity. She's clever. She'll often disguise her emotional vampirism with false intimacy. You think she's opening up, sharing her deepest thoughts and insecurities. But in reality, she's using vulnerability as a tool to bind you closer to her. Her trauma becomes your responsibility. Her fears, your burden. The more you try to fix her, the more entangled you become in her web. This dynamic is exhausting. She may seem to share her pain, but it's never really about healing. It's about keeping you emotionally invested in saving her. It's a never-ending cycle where her problems become your problems. Eventually, you stop focusing on your own well-being. Your energy, once vibrant and full of life, is constantly drained. Every conversation, every interaction, every silence pulls more from you until you feel mentally and emotionally spent, even when nothing specific has happened. At first, the emotional vampire seems like a blessing, but over time, she takes and takes until you barely recognize the man you were before she entered your life. You begin to lose yourself, piece by piece. Your needs, your desires, and your well-being fade into the background, overshadowed by her emotional turmoil. This is where practical stoicism becomes your shield. The Stoic rules remind us that a man must protect his inner peace. Do not give away your energy. It's yours to control. Embrace the paths of wisdom, not just to endure relationships, but to thrive in them. You must prioritize your mental and emotional health. You cannot save anyone who isn't willing to save themselves. The emotional vampire will not change, but you can. So, don't let her drain you. Don't fall into the trap of emotional chaos. Stand firm, be wise, and keep your emotional reserves intact. If you find this video valuable, like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Remember this: I am emotionally resilient and I protect my energy. Comment that affirmation below to show you're committed to staying strong and not allowing anyone to drain you. 3. The disrespectful partner. No man should ever accept the toxic behavior of a disrespectful partner. There are women out there who don't just cross your boundaries. They obliterate them with no regard. At first, you might dismiss her actions as just playful teasing, sarcasm, or part of her personality. But as time passes, you begin to realize this is a pattern. She consistently disregards your feelings, your values, and your dignity. Respect is the foundation of any relationship. Without it, everything begins to crumble. This kind of woman knows how to chip away at your self-worth, piece by piece, using tactics that seem small at first, but ultimately destroy you. One of the first signs of disrespect is how she treats you in public and private. She may mock your ambitions, belittle your successes, or make jokes at your expense. At first, it feels harmless, but each time she does it, she's telling you that she doesn't value you, your goals, or your dignity. And it only escalates. Soon, you're not just dealing with snide comments, but outright insults and public humiliation. She's not above violating your boundaries either. If you say something is off limits, she'll cross that line just to prove she can. She might invade your privacy, criticize your friends, or control your time. When you stand up for yourself, she shifts the blame back onto you, calling you sensitive or controlling. This is how she gains control, by making you feel guilty for protecting yourself. Her ultimate goal is to make you feel inferior, questioning your worth constantly. This is toxic behavior that should never be accepted. Epictetus taught us that we cannot control others' actions, but we control our response. The moment you start tolerating this, you lose the power to control your own life. She might use comparisons to tear you down, constantly pointing out how other men are better in some way, better dressed, more successful, more ambitious, fueling your insecurities and making you feel unworthy. And if you dare to lead or suggest something, she'll oppose you, not out of constructive disagreement, but because she feels threatened by your strength. This isn't partnership, it's manipulation. Stoicism teaches us to preserve our inner peace, no matter the external noise. A disrespectful partner erodes your self-respect until you question everything about yourself. She'll frame her insults as jokes, her control as care, and her dominance as leadership. Over time, she wears you down, and if you let it, she will dominate you completely. Life with her means constantly defending your worth, explaining your boundaries, and fighting for respect that should come naturally in a loving relationship. You might even change your own behavior to avoid her criticism, silencing your voice, erasing parts of who you are. But remember this, you must never accept disrespect, for your worth is sacred. Learn from Epictetus and embrace Stoicism to win your life back. Stand firm in your truth and reclaim the respect you deserve. Let this be your victory. 4. The Queen of Drama. You must never allow yourself to be caught in the web of the Queen of Drama. This woman thrives on chaos, conflict, and emotional turmoil. Stability. It's like a foreign language to her. Peace feels unnatural, boring even. If life dares to be calm, she'll find a way to stir the pot because drama is the very air she breathes. At first, you might mistake this for passion. It's the intense energy that makes you feel the relationship is fiery, exciting, even electrifying. But soon, you'll realize it's not passion, it's instability dressed up as enthusiasm. The truth is, she has no interest in harmony. She craves the adrenaline rush of emotional conflict. The Old Stoic Wisdom teaches us that peace is essential for clarity, but for her, peace is a threat. Her life is a constant cycle of conflict. There's always something wrong. Maybe it's a fight with you, a rift with a friend, an argument with a family member, or a disaster at work. Every day, she's ready with a new crisis that requires your undivided attention. And while life does come with its challenges, her issues are relentless, exaggerated, and often created by her own hands. She'll inflate tiny misunderstandings into full-blown battles, reliving them over and over just to keep the emotional tension alive. This constant state of drama will wear you down. You'll find yourself walking on eggshells, always bracing for the next eruption. One moment, everything's fine, and the next, she's angry about something you said weeks ago or taking offense at a conversation you had with someone else that she's twisted into something it's not. You'll be defending yourself against things you didn't even know were problems, because in her world, everything is a potential battleground. She doesn't need an actual reason to fight. The Queen of Drama knows exactly how to manipulate the situation to control you emotionally. She might scream, cry, or threaten to leave, not because she intends to, but because she knows it will get a rise out of you. She feeds on your reactions, drawing power from the emotional chaos she's created. The more you react, the more she feels in control. Even your attempts to calm her only fuel the fire, giving her all your attention and energy. Her relationship with you isn't about love, it's her personal stage for drama. She'll stoke jealousy by casually mentioning other men, create fights just before important events, or pull away affection to make you chase her. If things are running too smoothly, she'll sabotage the peace, because for her, drama is what makes her feel alive, relevant and important. It's what fills the emptiness she can never quite acknowledge. Over time, you'll change. You'll start anticipating conflict, walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring your words, your tone, your actions to avoid setting off another explosion. But no matter what you do, it's never enough. The chaos isn't about you. It's about her desperate need to keep the emotional turbulence alive. She can't function without it, and soon it becomes the norm in the relationship. The most insidious part of being with her is that she'll make you feel responsible for the chaos. She'll convince you that if you just loved her more, understood her better, or gave more of yourself, everything would calm down. But the truth is, she doesn't want calm. She wants the highs and lows that come from constant emotional storms. And if you stay long enough, you'll find that your own emotional baseline shifts. You'll start to see constant tension as normal, because she's trained you to live in a world where peace simply doesn't exist. In moments of clarity, You must draw strength from old Stoic principles, principles that emphasize control over emotional reactions and maintaining an iron mind. You must not allow yourself to be swept away by the tides of emotional chaos. Your peace is too precious. Stand firm in the knowledge that you don't need to be part of her storm to feel alive. Be the calm in the chaos, the solid foundation in a world that thrives on drama. That is your true power. If you're caught in the storm of emotional chaos, it's time to break free and reclaim your peace. Don't let the queen of drama control your life. Comment below. I choose peace over drama, and share this wisdom with someone who needs to hear it. Like, comment, and subscribe for more truths that empower you to live better. 5. The self-serving lover. Let me tell you something, and listen closely. No man should ever accept this. The self-serving lover is not a woman you want in your life, especially if you're serious about finding a relationship that nurtures mutual growth and respect. This type of woman is toxic. She's not here to build something with you, to grow together, or to genuinely connect emotionally. She's here for one reason only: to use you. It's a transaction, not love. In the early stages, she'll shower you with affection, and you'll feel like the most important man in the world. But don't be fooled. This affection is a carefully calculated move. She's not with you because of who you are. She's with you because of what you can give. And let's not kid ourselves. It might be money, social status, or emotional validation. She sees you as a resource. You'll notice it soon enough. The affection fades when the benefits do. You'll see her focus shift. Everything becomes about her needs, her desires, and her goals. She will expect you to prioritize her life, her comfort, her plans. If you don't, beware. Distance, annoyance, and manipulation will follow. A self-serving lover is quick to make you feel like you're not doing enough, like you must constantly give to earn her affection. That's the trap. She knows how to keep you emotionally hooked. Selective affection becomes her weapon. When you're giving her what she wants, attention, gifts, status, she's warm, loving, and attentive. When you're not, she's cold, dismissive, or even hostile. You'll start chasing her approval, giving more of yourself, but she keeps taking your time, your money, your energy. It's all part of the emotional currency you're forced to keep paying. And for what a love that is conditional at best. Don't be fooled. The self-serving lover is like a businesswoman, keeping a mental scorecard of everything you do, every favor, every gift. It's logged, but only as a transaction. Reciprocation. It's not coming. She'll do the bare minimum and make sure it's always calculated. This kind of imbalance will drain you emotionally, financially, and spiritually. At worst, when she sees a better opportunity, she'll shift loyalties without hesitation. This doesn't always mean she'll leave for another man, but she might emotionally withdraw or look elsewhere when she thinks she can get what she wants. You'll become replaceable, and she'll make sure you know it. Don't settle for this. You must see the signs. The self-serving lover doesn't see relationships as sacred, long-lasting bonds. She sees them as temporary arrangements, lasting only as long as she benefits. When the benefits stop, so does the affection. She'll leave you feeling used, undervalued, and emotionally drained. This is no way to live. Follow the Stoic rules. Remember the paths of wisdom. Real love isn't transactional. It's about mutual respect, growth, and emotional connection. Be cautious, be wise, and never let yourself fall into this trap. Protect your heart, and always look for someone who loves you, not what you can give. That is the way of practical stoicism. 6. The Manipulative Narcissist. The manipulative narcissist is a woman who lives to dominate, to control, and to destroy your sense of self. She thrives on power. Her life revolves around manipulating everyone around her to serve her ego. At first, she may seem charming, confident, and self-assured. She'll make you feel like the most important person in her world, but it's all a facade. Beneath that exterior lies an insecurity so deep that she'll do anything to keep herself validated. This isn't just about attention, it's about absolute control. She will make you feel like you're nothing without her, and yet, if you dare to take a step back, If you want space to breathe, she will turn the tables, accusing you of selfishness and neglect. She'll use guilt and shame to keep you locked in her world. You must never let her manipulate you this way. She's a master at twisting words. Disagree with her, challenge her, and she'll belittle your thoughts, degrade your feelings, and accuse you of ingratitude. You must not allow yourself to be cornered by her lies. The atmosphere she creates is one of constant tension, always walking on eggshells, always unsure when her next attack will come. This is her game, control through chaos. One of her favourite tricks is triangulation. She'll drag a third party into your private matters, friends, family, even strangers, and distort the truth to create doubt. This tactic keeps you in a state of confusion, isolating you from your own support system while she plays the role of the victim. This is toxic. You must rise above this manipulation. A narcissistic partner doesn't want a genuine connection. For her, relationships are about domination. She wants to feel superior. And if you ever try to assert yourself or challenge her behavior, she'll pull away affection, causing you to feel emotionally starved, pushing you further into her control. Never let her starve you emotionally. Nothing you do will ever be enough because her need for dominance is insatiable. And if you do attempt to confront her, she will gaslight you, denying her actions, twisting the truth, and making you question your own reality. Eventually, you'll start doubting yourself. You'll lose sight of who you are, what you deserve, and what a healthy relationship looks like. This is where you must stop. You must reclaim your sense of self. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The manipulative narcissist thrives on controlling your reactions. She wants you to bend, to become what she needs. You must stand firm. Stoicism teaches us to control only what we can: our thoughts, our actions, our choices. The manipulative narcissist will attempt to strip away your control, to make you doubt your own strength, but you must win. You must remember that your worth is not dependent on her validation. The Stoic way is the way of victory, strength through self-control, resilience through clarity. If you want to win, if you want to master your life, you need to cast off the influence of the toxic narcissist. You must build your emotional walls, reclaim your independence, and remember that your life, your mind, and your soul belong to you alone. Let the words of Epictetus echo in your mind. Freedom is the only thing you cannot give up. Take back your freedom. Stop tolerating the manipulation. Step into the power of Stoicism and live your life according to your rules. Not hers. You will win. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 7. The chronically unhappy partner. No man should ever accept being trapped in the never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction with a chronically unhappy partner. These women can drain you, emotionally and mentally, no matter how much love, attention, or support you provide. They seem to have it all, everything a person could need to feel content. But, ironically, that's exactly the problem. They're so consumed by focusing on what's wrong that nothing you do will ever feel like enough. The Old Stoic Wisdom teaches us to live with a sense of inner peace and resolve, but a partner who's constantly dissatisfied challenges that every day. No matter how hard you try to console, fix, or improve things, her unhappiness remains a relentless force that never fades. She'll find new things to complain about, even after you've addressed the last issue. You may start thinking it's your fault, that you're somehow failing to meet her expectations. But let me tell you this, you're not. Her unhappiness is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a reflection of her inability to find peace within herself. In relationships like this, the negativity will seep into everything. It's as if the storm clouds of her dissatisfaction follow you both, blocking out the sun no matter how hard you try to shine. You give her love, affection, and care, but she's always focusing on the small imperfections, the way you communicate, how you spend your time together, even how you express your love. It never ends. Eventually, it starts to feel like you're walking on eggshells, fearing that anything you do or say could upset her, but that fear never really goes away. And why? Because her discontent isn't truly about you. It's about her own inability to find satisfaction in anything, including herself. It's toxic, this constant cycle of negativity, and it will wear you down if you allow it to continue. You can't be the one to solve her problems, nor should you have to. The Stoic principles that guide a man to develop an iron mind remind us that we must focus on what we can control, and what you can control is your own emotional well-being. If you allow her unhappiness to become your burden, you will begin to internalize it. You'll start questioning your worth, your ability to make her happy, even your role in the relationship. But let me be crystal clear, that is her struggle, not yours. She will accuse you of not trying hard enough, not being supportive enough, or not being emotionally available enough, even when you've given everything you have. It's not about your effort. It's about her need to change the way she sees herself and the world around her. The most profound lesson here is that you must not let her unhappiness define you. In embracing the Stoic wisdom of focusing on what you can control, you'll see that you are not responsible for her discontent. If you keep giving and sacrificing, and she continues to find fault, then it's time to step away. Your happiness is just as important as hers, and no one, especially not someone caught in a toxic cycle of negativity, should hold the power to strip that away from you. The iron mind understands this deeply. It stands firm, unmoved by the storms of others' emotions. Do not be a part of a relationship that only leads to draining your soul. Be wise, be strong, and stand firm in your own peace. 8. The victim mentality partner. Don't fall for it. No man should ever accept the toxic behavior of a woman who constantly plays the victim. It's a trap, and once you're caught, it's almost impossible to escape. She blames everyone and everything for her troubles, never herself. This is the victim mentality partner, and if you find yourself with someone like this, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. At first, you might feel sympathy for her. You might think, she's been through so much, she just needs someone to lean on. You might even believe that helping her through her struggles will bring you closer. But don't be fooled. This is where practical stoicism comes into play. You need to understand that you cannot fix someone who refuses to take responsibility for their actions. Every misstep she makes is someone else's fault. Lost job. Her boss was unfair. Broken friendship. Someone betrayed her. Trouble in your relationship. It's your fault for not doing enough. She never reflects on her behavior. Never takes a moment to think, what did I do wrong? Instead, she focuses on how others have wronged her. This is not just a flaw, it's a serious character issue. You must realize that this mentality isn't just inconvenient, it's draining. She becomes emotionally dependent on you, expecting you to carry the burden of her happiness. You could move mountains for her, and it would never be enough. You must not allow this. The more you do, the more she demands, and the more she manipulates you into thinking you're the one who's failing. As time goes on, the cycle deepens. If you confront her, she doesn't acknowledge her mistakes. No, she turns it on you, accusing you of being unfair, unkind, or unsupportive. Don't accept this. That is not a partnership. It's a manipulation game. You need to stand firm. This is not just about her. This is about you. Your mental well-being, your happiness. A relationship should be a two-way street, a place where both people support each other. But when you're stuck with someone who constantly plays the victim, you're nothing more than her emotional caretaker. And over time, it becomes mentally exhausting. You feel as if you can't even express your own frustration or needs without being accused of cruelty. Remember, the Stoic rules control what you can, and let go of what you cannot. In this case, you cannot control her victim mentality. You can, however, control how you respond to it. Don't let her drain you. Don't let her dictate your emotional state. There are paths of wisdom in understanding that some battles are not yours to fight. Walk away from toxic relationships and protect your peace. A partner should help you grow, not hold you down. Don't be someone's emotional punching bag. Take responsibility for your happiness. When you recognize this pattern, it's time to change course. Practical Stoicism teaches us that we are responsible for our own reactions. Don't allow someone else to steal your emotional energy and sense of self. Be wise. If you're ready to break free from the cycle of emotional manipulation and victimhood, it starts with you taking control of your own happiness. No one should bear the emotional weight of another's refusal to take responsibility. If you're committed to freeing yourself from this toxic mindset, comment below, "I take ownership of my own life and refuse to carry the emotional baggage of others." Let's get the conversation started. 9. The unpredictable partner. No man should ever accept the chaos and uncertainty that an unpredictable partner brings into his life. The roller coaster of emotions, the erratic shifts from warmth to coldness, affection to hostility, drains you. You walk on eggshells, never knowing what will set her off next. One moment, she's your greatest supporter, showering you with love and care. The next, she's distant, cold, or worse, attacking you for nothing. This emotional whiplash is not only exhausting, but corrosive to your mental and emotional health. It creates an environment of constant tension. You begin second-guessing every word, every action, as if you're living in a world of unpredictable landmines. The damage done by such unpredictability is real, and it leaves you questioning your own sanity. You may feel trapped, unable to understand why the good moments never last, and why the bad moments seem to come without warning or reason. This isn't love, it's manipulation. You cannot afford to live in a constant state of anxiety. Life is too short, and you deserve stability, peace, and consistency. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." No man should accept emotional instability as part of his reality. You are not here to manage the emotional turmoil of another person. You must stand firm in the belief that you can win over chaos through your own inner peace. Stoicism teaches us to control only what we can control: our responses, our actions, and our peace of mind. If her instability threatens your peace, you must remove yourself from the equation. Don't be afraid to walk away. Strength lies not in tolerating chaos, but in mastering your own life and emotions. When you allow unpredictable behavior to remain unchecked, you lose control. And once you lose control, everything slips away from you. "He who is brave is free," said Seneca. By letting go of toxic patterns, you free yourself, you reclaim control, master your life, and emerge victorious. Don't allow anyone to pull you into their emotional chaos. Let go of the unpredictability and embrace the steady, deliberate path of Stoicism. You deserve a life of consistency, a life where you dictate your own emotional well-being. Remember, Epictetus teaches us that we control our responses, not the unpredictable whims of others. Stick to the principles of Stoicism. Focus on what you can control, and know that when you remove yourself from toxic relationships, you are winning in life. 10. The passive-aggressive partner. No man should ever accept being manipulated by a passive-aggressive partner. You see, the passive-aggressive partner is the type who avoids direct confrontation like the plague, instead choosing to express her anger and frustration through indirect and confusing means. It's not about her yelling at you or openly arguing. It's the subtle things she does to undermine you. Sarcastic comments, the silent treatment, or even sabotaging plans without explanation. These are not innocent quirks or misunderstandings. They are calculated tactics designed to punish you for things she's too afraid or unwilling to confront head-on. At first, it might seem harmless, even charming in a quirky way. But don't be fooled. Over time, these little jabs, snide remarks, and backhanded compliments start to erode your peace of mind. When you try to address it, don't expect honesty. Instead, she'll deny anything's wrong and accuse you of overreacting. If that's not enough, she might even turn the tables, making you feel like you're the problem. Be clear, this is toxic behavior. These emotional games are not just frustrating, they're dangerous. The damage done by passive-aggressive behavior isn't visible on the surface, but it's deep. It destroys trust, confuses communication, and builds walls between you. Instead of solving problems together, you're left in a constant state of guessing, wondering what's really bothering her. You'll try to fix things, but it's like trying to catch smoke with your hands. Nothing ever seems to resolve fully. Worse yet, this partner is a master manipulator, skilled at turning others against you. She might talk behind your back, poisoning the opinions of friends and family, leaving you isolated and doubting your support system. It's an emotional trap, and you're the one caught in it, questioning everything you thought you knew about your relationship. This kind of relationship will drain you, emotionally and mentally. The passive-aggressive partner, like a master of games, knows exactly how to twist your thoughts and emotions, leaving you worn out and doubting your own sanity. This is why, as men seeking clarity and strength, you must embrace Old Stoic wisdom to recognize and resist this toxicity. Stoic principles teach us the importance of maintaining an iron mind, undeterred by manipulative games. You must rise above these emotional traps, refusing to engage in this petty drama. Do not allow anyone to steal your peace. Remember, a relationship should be built on trust, communication, and respect. 3 things that a passive-aggressive partner actively undermines. Never settle for anything less than direct, honest communication. You must be strong enough to draw a line and demand the respect you deserve. Alright, that's it for today's video. Guys, if you found this content valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with anyone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more wisdom on how to live a better life with the teachings of the Stoics. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, or want to discuss this topic further, drop your comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about this perspective, and let's keep the conversation going. Remember, these ancient lessons are timeless, and it's up to us to apply them in our lives. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.